No, Wargasm. And you're my mother. Don't say that word again. It's yeah, Wargasm. The band. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna talk about 1978. Yeah, remember we saw Kiss in 1978. Yep, Gene. Anyway, I gotta go because the thing starts in 1 minute, so I have to hop on this thing. Okay, love you too. Oh boy. All right. And we're back. We're in 1978, and this
I
is the
wish.
I know, right? This is the first episode of these yearly episodes I've been doing with a guest, and I'm going to hopefully have a few more. I have one scheduled for 1980 and 91. So if there's one you'd like to hop on, let me know. I just have to like you as a person, and you have to have some interesting things to say. But otherwise, I'm here again with Bob Mayo, who's been on here a number of times now, and we're going to talk about 1978. Um, I was 8 years old in 1978. Bob turned 14 in July of 1978. And, this was a year where rock music sort of endured, because disco was starting and new wave and punk rock and all these genres from, which is stuff I liked, but, disco obviously was the one that probably had the most negative impact on a lot of this stuff to the like a lot of hard rock bands were starting to add that, like Kiss to put out that double platinum in 78. They did Strutter 78 where they added sort of a disco beat to it. Um, yeah, I know. And then whatever happened with them after. Um, but
See
yeah,
what
so
happens.
what's that?
See what happens.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I don't think I think it was before that, but there was that one year in the baseball field where they burned all the disco albums.
Right.
Um, but I talk about that now, but I also, I was 8 years old. Disco was big in our house. Um, so, I was into some of that stuff, but in retrospect, when I look back, I'm glad there's not many pictures. I was young enough to, just to blame it on my parents who were dressing me like that. Um, um, so 1978, a lot of great records come out. So at this point for you, what kind of stuff were you listening to in 1978?
Well, 1978 was a real turning point for me. At the beginning of the year, I was completely and totally brainwashed by Kiss.
Yeah,
Um, 1978 changed that a lot.
yeah,
I probably had maybe five or six albums at that point, and it was Cheap Trick's first two.
hmm
It was Aerosmith's a handful of Aerosmith albums, which I actually inherited from my sister.
hmm
And Kiss, Rock and Roll Over, Kiss Alive, and all the early Kiss albums,
yeah,
up to Alive 2.
hmm
And in February, just a couple days after the blizzard in 1978, I went to see my first concert ever, and it was Kiss and the Rockets at the Providence Civic Center.
hmm
They played there the second and the third, and I was at the show on the second.
hmm
And I can't even describe just being that first experience was just absolutely
yeah,
amazing. It was great. They were gods to me,
yeah,
and I was in the same room with them, quote unquote.
mm,
It was just fantastic. And
yeah,
I have a bootleg tape of that show that I got from a friend of mine in Belgium. We
hmm
were having a conversation about our first concerts, and I mentioned this show, and he goes, "Oh my God, I have that show on tape."
huh,
So now I have it on tape too.
yeah,
It's barely listenable. You have to know the songs
right, yeah,
to
it's
be
that,
able to follow it.
yeah,
It's that level of
right,
bootleg. But yeah, that was amazing. But But man, soon after that, Kiss really disappointed
Yeah.
me, and I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of other people, because
Yeah.
uh, I'm not exactly sure when that TV movie hit, but that was terrible. Um, that I, no
Yeah.
explanation needed there if you've seen
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And then the Dynasty album, I did not resonate with me whatsoever.
Yeah.
It really felt like maybe it's because they were so big at that point that they didn't feel like they were, anybody's dirty secret anymore. They were kind
Yeah.
of
Right.
as big as they could possibly be at that point. But that record is, I don't even own it. I just, it never stuck with me. So that was a disappointment. And
Yeah.
right around that same time, um, I'm in storytelling mode now. Just hold your
Oh
hand up
yeah.
for
Yeah.
me to stop.
No, no, that's the whole, yeah.
Um, I was spending the week with my dad at his apartment
Hmm.
during February vacation, school vacation, and
Yeah.
he bought a brand new stereo system, and it had an FM tuner, record player, and an 8-track deck all in one component, one
Yeah.
console.
Hmm.
And the 8-track had recording capabilities, and he bought a bunch of blank 8-track tapes, which you're gonna have to trust me, they did exist. They were realistic, the Radio Shack brand, and
Hmm.
he bought like 5 of them. And my little brother and I that night we were setting it up and playing around with it. And I guess I didn't realize either he or I set it to record.
Yeah.
And we had WAAF on, which was my station of choice back then.
Yeah.
And they used to have this show on Friday nights called the Friday Night Six Pack.
Hmm.
And overnight, they would play 6 albums in their entirety
Yeah.
that either just came out or hadn't even been released yet, to premiere them, and also, to kill time so the DJs didn't have to do jack overnight, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
But I woke up the next morning and saw that the 8-track was still recording. It never stops.
Yeah.
It just keeps going from track to track.
Right.
And I stopped it. And later on that day, I listened to what we had recorded that night. And most of Van Halen's first album
Oh wow.
was on that tape.
Hmm.
And it was going to come out the week after.
Yeah.
I think it was Tuesdays, the day that music came out back then.
Yeah. Yeah. Tuesdays.
It was just a couple days before it actually hit the stores.
Yeah.
And I talk about life-changing moments.
Yeah.
After a steady diet of Kiss,
Right.
Aerosmith, Cheap Trick, and then Van Halen's first album,
Yeah.
my head just
Yeah.
exploded. I
Yeah.
was completely obsessed with it. I listened to it constantly, over and over and over.
Yeah.
It really blew my mind. So that was a giant chip in the Kiss
Yeah.
stone there.
Yeah.
I thought Kiss was the be all end all. Obviously, Gene Simmons is the best bass player of all time.
Right.
Obviously, Peter Criss is the greatest drummer of all time.
Right.
After digesting the Van Halen album,
Yeah.
I really, it was tough for me to take Kiss seriously
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
After that,
Yeah.
I still love Kiss. I still love those albums,
Yeah.
and I love them not just for nostalgic reasons, but also I think that they were great rock songwriters.
Yeah.
There's great riffs and great hooks,
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
songs on those records.
Yeah.
But it was a huge leap from that to Van Halen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And really, I've never been the same since then.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a giant event.
Yeah. I think when I first experienced Van Halen, it was, and I don't know where so maybe it was like USA Up All Night or just somewhere where they would show, music video. They weren't called videos necessarily back then, but I remember seeing that You Really Got Me promo video with them and just was like, what is this guitar sound? Because it's same with me. I think I heard it probably around the same time, but I was much younger and well, not much younger, 5 years younger. But how Kiss, sold themselves, you would think that it would be heavy, like now anyway. But when I heard that Van Halen, you really got me in that chunky guitar. That changed me as well. I was just like, wow, this is. And then I think my brother ended up getting the record eventually.
It
Yeah,
was crazy. It was like something from another planet. It was so different, so ahead.
yeah, yeah,
It's crazy. It's hard, for people younger than us who grew up hearing all the Van Halen albums.
yeah.
Like no big deal, all over
Right.
the radio.
Yeah,
But at that first year or two, maybe
yeah,
of hearing them, it was just
yeah,
crazy,
yeah, yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Um, so after you see Kid, who was that band? The Rockets? Is that a local
No, no, they
band or?
were they lasted just a few albums. They were
Yeah,
on the radio at the time. They did a cover of Fleetwood Mac's "Oh Well,"
yeah. Okay,
uh, and Jim McCarty from Cactus was their guitar player.
okay.
Not that that was any big claim to
Right.
fame back then, but
Yeah, yeah,
they were on the radio a lot with that
yeah.
song,
Okay.
and they got the Kiss tour, so
Yeah,
they were pretty cool. I mean, they were that generic opening rock band that
yeah,
we
yeah,
saw 100 of back
yeah,
in the day.
yeah.
Uh,
Those were always the bands like opening shows like that. It seemed, unless you got a good one. I
Yeah,
just while researching this, because I can't remember many of the shows I saw in '78. The first one being was I'm sure you've heard me talk about it, was the Kiss recording of the of the TV
yeah.
uh, show. My dad, we left after we didn't stay for the whole of them acting with the other version of the band on stage and all that. But the other show we saw at some point in '78 was Styx on the, the Pieces of Eight tour. But I just discovered today that the Cars were the opening act on the show we were at. I have no memory of seeing them ever. So, I don't know if I saw them, but I'm reading the biography of Kiss of the Cars right now, and they took one of them talks about that tour and how they just didn't really like the guys in Styx at all, which it kind of makes sense. These nerdy new wave guys from Boston, and then these Chicago dorky. I'm not going to call them progressive rock, but whatever they're
Yeah,
drum
that's pretty
progressive rock via drama club or whatever that was. Um, so did you start going to live stuff regularly after that show?
yeah. Well, my parents were terrified of me going to see Kiss, but once I came home in
One
one piece,
piece. Yeah.
then it was okay. The next show I saw after that was Ted Nugent
Oh wow.
at the Providence Civic Center. No, no,
Yeah.
no. The Cape Cod
Cape
Coliseum,
Cod. Okay.
Cape Cod, and
Yeah.
Nantucket. Nantucket opened up for him, and they were the Rockets, and the Rockets was Nantucket. They
Yeah.
were exactly that same band.
Right. Right.
That five-piece middle and do we need a sax player or not kind of rock.
Right. Yeah.
Bass player wears sunglasses on stage. Like
Right.
they're all the
Yeah.
same. They're
Yeah.
all the Nantucket. I mean, check them out. It was pretty cool. It was
Yeah.
very commercial hard rock, but
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Nugent was. We're not going to talk about Nugent today.
Yeah. Yeah. As a person or
Nugent back
Vic.
then was on fire.
Oh yeah.
It was a great show. It was with his original band,
Yeah.
and they were great. Derek St. Holmes and all those
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
The show was insane.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And he
Great
put on like
performer,
an
great
actual
guitar
show
player.
as well. So that must have been cool to see. Seeing Kiss and then Ted Nugent, who, is shooting the buffalo with the arrow and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, it was on the Gonzo tour, which
Yeah.
was his double live
Yeah.
album.
Yeah.
And I remember walking around my neighborhood with my cousins, and one of my cousins had one of those 8-track players that looked like a dynamite detonator.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know the exact thing you're talking about. Yeah.
And we played that album at full blast and just cracked up. We the songs were great,
Yeah.
but we would turn it up when he was doing all those filthy raps, just at cars coming by and people walking,
Yeah.
just trying to cause trouble as 13-year-olds. But
Yeah.
going to see him actually live was. I remember at one point he was playing a solo
Hmm.
and he got out in front of the PA and stuck his head right inside one of the PA cabinets. And I mean, I can't even believe what kind of damage that. Maybe that explains.
Right. Maybe
Where,
that was right.
yeah,
He wasn't doing drugs or alcohol, so but he was doing all sorts of other terrible things to his body.
I don't think that album really stands up. I don't think it's. There's a
Yeah,
couple of um, where the band really stretches out on those instrumentals and the
yeah,
and Stranglehold and all that.
yeah,
Great band, awesome
yeah,
band.
yeah,
Those are the parts that really resonate. But
yeah,
when you're 13, it was all the dirty words he was saying and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I was listening to some of that today, going through all those live records, and yeah, and I had forgot that band, Nashville Pussy. That's where they
Right, right.
got there for the intro to Yank Me Crank Me, or I don't know, one of those. I think it's Yank Me Crank Me. Um, but so how about so once you hear Van Halen, did you kind of want to hear like more heavier stuff after that?
Yeah,
Kind of,
yeah. I had a friend who in middle school that his older brother had the Sabbath albums,
yeah,
and at that time, I I was not into it because it seemed I was raised on the 3 minute Kiss song,
yeah,
the
yeah,
verse, solo, chorus,
yeah,
and Sabbath was really abstract to me. They had like it seemed like three songs, four songs, five songs all stuck into one song,
yeah,
and I just thought I thought it wasn't for me.
yeah,
It didn't really stick with me until much later.
right,
Obviously, they're it for
yeah, yeah,
metal. They're you
yeah,
can't
yeah,
they're the undisputed
right,
king. But at that time, I didn't really resonate with me. It was the shorter, more immediate stuff that I really
right,
liked. And
yeah,
I continued to record that Friday Night Six Pack on AAF, and another amazing find that really shook me up was ACDC's Power Age.
oh yeah, yeah.
It
That was
was
78, right? Yeah,
Yep, it was
yeah,
in the spring of '78, and I used to record that show just so I could see what was coming out,
yeah,
and so that was a first day purchase for me. That album was
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
It's and to this day, it's my favorite album of all time,
yeah,
hands down,
yeah,
number one.
yeah,
And yeah, so that was another Friday Night Six Pack discovery.
right, yeah. And where were you buying records?
Good Vibrations in
Yeah,
Canton at the Village Mall in Canton,
okay,
where I actually worked for 7 or 8 years after graduating high school.
yeah,
But yeah, that was my go-to place. And
yeah,
they knew me there. They knew what I liked, and they used to recommend stuff to me all the time. And
yeah,
they would put records on in the store for me to listen to.
nice,
They were
yeah,
cultivating me. They
yeah,
were a great resource, those
yeah,
guys.
nice,
Um, what wasn't a great resource for me was I took guitar lessons at
yeah,
that mall at a
okay,
record store called Music Machine.
yeah,
And those guys, all the teachers there they really looked down on everything I listened to, and
yeah,
they weren't shy about it.
yeah,
They would try to get me to listen to this Eric Clapton record. You
right,
gotta listen to Jeff Beck. You gotta listen
yeah,
to all these the jazzy
yeah,
guitarists, Harry Coryell and Lee
yeah,
Ritenour and all those
yeah,
guys. I'm sure they're fantastic, whatever.
yeah,
But I would say Richie Blackmore,
yeah,
Michael Schenker,
yeah,
Eddie Van Halen, and
yeah,
this is the year that people were learning about Eddie Van Halen, and I remember telling them put on Van Halen 1 and play the second track,
yeah,
Eruption.
yeah,
And there's three guitar teachers, including my guitar teacher, in the room,
yeah,
and they put it on and they played it. And one of the guys said that was a synthesizer. It's not a guitar. Don't be fooled. It's
yeah,
not a guitar.
right,
That's how bold and new
yeah,
that technique was.
yeah, yeah,
But that really kind of turned me off these guys, the way they looked down on
yeah,
what I what I was following, what I was listening to, and
yeah,
what I wanted to play.
yeah,
They were trying to steer me, uh, into more jazzy, accomplished areas. But even to this day, nobody's going to tell me Richie
Right.
Blackmore is
Right.
is is not a good guitarist,
Right. I know.
or Eddie Van Halen or Michael Schenker.
Yeah.
Just because you never heard of these guys doesn't
Yeah.
mean. And
Right.
they all heard of Richie Blackmore. I know they
Yeah.
did.
Of
So
course.
that turned me off. I stopped taking lessons there about after about 6 months because they
Yeah.
were snobs,
Yeah.
and I don't want to deal with that. I don't
Yeah.
want to pay money for a snob to tell me
Yeah.
to look down on what I was listening to and
Yeah.
what I
Definitely.
aspired to. Such a huge year. We've talked about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Such a huge year for live albums.
Yeah.
And Budokan came out in like October, I think,
Oh,
but
okay. So it was later in the year. Yeah.
there were so many other ones
Yeah.
that year.
I
Like
know.
the list is crazy. I wrote a blog article about it,
Yeah.
and
That's, I
I was
thought you had.
researching.
Yeah.
I was researching it, and I knew there was a lot that year. But the more I looked into it, the more I saw. I was like, "Oh my God!" Everyone took the year off and just put out a
Yeah.
live album.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're watching this, I'll go through the little list I came up with today. Ted Nugent, Double Live Gonzo. Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush live, which is a band that doesn't really get talked about on here much, but still a good record. Zappa in New York, Scorpions, Tokyo Tapes, Thin Lizzy live and Dangerous, it's an amazing record. BOC, their second live one, Some Enchanted Evening. Sammy Hagar, All Night Long. Jethro Tull, Bursting Out. Little Feat, Waiting for Columbus, David Bowie Stage. AC/DC, If You Want Blood. Aerosmith Live Bootleg, the band The Last Waltz, Kansas, Two for the Show, Bob Marley, Babylon by Bus, and the Blues Brothers, Briefcase Full of Blues. Um, so yeah,
That's
it's amazing how,
yeah,
and yeah, so a lot of the stuff you're getting into is through the radio, and then talking to people at the record store, which is that's like a bygone practice, at this point,
yeah,
obviously. Um, because that's where you would hear, like you used to go to Rocket Records, and I worked there late years after you were a customer there, I think. But that we had a lot of just regulars, and people would count on like stores like that to get stuff. And but I imagine in 1970, but that was the 80s, which was more.
yeah,
We were all sort of collecting and that kind of thing, and imports and stuff. 1978, was a different time for, I feel like, even like people, teenagers or people in their 20s buying music was different than in the 80s. It was just a record was coming out and you'd buy it. It wasn't,
yeah.
I need the import version of this or whatever. So,
The people at Good Vibrations, like I said, they knew me and they knew what I was buying, and they used
yeah,
to hold stuff aside and show it to me.
yeah,
Uh, that was a great resource, and the radio AAF and BCN
hmm
was a great resource.
yeah,
But also BCN, I have to say, we were so lucky to have that radio station.
yeah,
They widened. I'll speak for myself. They widened my horizons so much.
yeah, definitely.
They broke so many bands nationally. They helped
Yeah,
break a lot of bands. Tom Petty,
yeah,
Cheap Trick, The Clash, U2.
yeah,
Um, they were really important for my musical development of my taste.
hmm
And they used to play live shows. They would do live
Oh,
broadcasts,
yeah, yeah,
certain
yep,
shows. And I had I think it was in August 21st,
hmm
AC/DC played there,
yeah,
and they broadcast that show live.
yeah. The Orpheus.
And I taped it with my tape deck
Yeah,
off the radio, and I had it for a while. Now you can get that show as a bootleg if you know how to get where to get
yeah,
bootlegs.
yeah,
It's a really infamous bootleg. It's great.
yeah,
Um, so BCN was really amazing. They were
yeah,
they played so much. A couple of years later, in 1980,
yeah.
that was the first place I heard Motorhead. They played
Oh, wow.
"The Chase is Better Than the Catch,"
Yeah,
and it wasn't on a metal show.
yeah.
It was just during drive time.
Huh.
They played Saxon, Motorcycle Man.
Yeah,
That's the first place I heard UFO. Only You Can Rock Me.
yeah,
They tried anything
yeah, yeah,
and they played anything. They really didn't have any boundaries.
yeah.
And that was really valuable to me. I really appreciate having
Yeah,
that station in my
yeah,
life at this time was incredible.
yeah, yeah. And you could record all those live shows off of the. I had a Twisted Sister one. I remember getting off the radio from the early. Yeah, I think I had an ACD. I had an Aussie one from '82, like the Diary of a Madman tour before. I think it was right before Randy died, and then there was a Joe Jackson one that was great. But yeah, it was great hearing all that stuff on the and just hearing that on the radio. Like it's weird to think they would just play a full concert on the radio. That's unheard of at this point. If whatever's left of radio at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so that's another thing. Younger people might not get to is there was. Like a radio station like that would play, yeah, Motorhead in the middle of the day, in between Bob Seger and Pat Benatar, maybe,
Yeah.
and uh, and I think it made sense, a lot of that stuff, a lot of the fans I feel like of stuff in the '70s and early '80s didn't cross paths, like disco people weren't, really hanging out with metal people or new wave and this kind of thing, but I think music-wise, people were a little more open, just as far as listening.
The other resource that was valuable was magazines,
Hmm.
which is totally different now. I mean, I
Yeah,
think the rock magazines that I see nowadays, when I do see them, are all retro,
yeah,
like archival stuff.
yeah,
Um, but back then, Cream and Circus and Hit Parader to a point,
yeah,
um, they were a great place to find out what
yeah,
was going on. And but if you bought a record like AC/DC
yeah,
in 1978, all you knew about this band was what was in that record sleeve.
yeah, yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
You couldn't go online and research
right.
Wikipedia or
Yeah,
go to their website and find out about their discography. You
yeah,
couldn't do that. You were starved for information.
yeah,
And if you found a magazine that had an article about AC/DC in it,
yeah,
that was the only way you could find out even what they looked like in some
yeah,
cases.
yeah, yeah. A lot of the bands weren't putting themselves on the covers. When I first started, AC/DC started showing up on my radar was probably around when Back in Black came out. And then I started, looking for their records and then seeing the live record and that cover is just because I saw Back in Black. I don't think there's any. There might be a picture of them playing in the inside, like a black and white picture, I think, on the inner sleeve. But I think I had a cassette anyway. But anyway, but I remember seeing that live record and just and the back with the guitar neck sticking out of him and
You know that picture was taken at the Paradise?
oh really? Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
that's
Really?
that's an established fact.
Huh?
Um, right
That
after
what?
soundcheck, they set up for that. They took a series of pictures,
Wow.
uh, and that's one of them. Yeah,
Oh wow. Is that where that show, the bootleg you were talking about, was that from that
from
was that
that
Paradise?
same day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same day.
Huh. Who they toured with on that? Or who they would have played with it?
I don't know,
Yeah.
don't know. But if you there's a website now called setlist.com,
Oh, I love that website.
and
Yeah.
you can that's how I found the date of the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it'll tell you if it's known, they'll tell you who the opening band was.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I found the cars on the yeah, because a lot of times it'll connect to that band's set list too. But that is a great resource to it's been like something I've referenced on this podcast, when this podcast was just audio to now the video, just to sort of make sense of timelines, especially. It's a big help. Um, so yeah, that's a good site. Um, and then so as far as you said you weren't into Black Sabbath, but so you probably wouldn't even have cared about Never Say Die and that year because that's when that 1978 is when Never Say Die comes out. Um, you eventually become a Black Sabbath fan. Um, do you go back to that record at all? And were you a fan of that one?
Uh, no,
Yeah,
I I think it's pretty weak. I think
yeah,
it's not really Sabbathy
yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah,
And now that now that we have the internet and we know everything there is to know about everything,
Right.
Ozzy had already quit,
Yeah.
and they had another dude in the band, and then the record company wanted them to do a 10th anniversary tour and one more album, so they hired Ozzy back. So
Yeah.
the whole thing is kind of half-assed,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it kind of sounds that way too. Like it's
Yeah.
that when I'm listening to it, I enjoy it because I like to hear those players play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Johnny Blade is great, and Junior's Eyes. There's a couple of good songs on
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah.
as a whole album, it's not
Yeah.
great. It doesn't
Yeah.
stand up anywhere near close to like the first five
Yeah.
or six.
Yeah. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
But I saw them on that tour.
Yeah.
It was in September at the
Mhm.
Cape Cod Coliseum again,
Yeah.
and Van Halen opened up.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you,
Yeah.
Sabbath were tired and overweight,
Yeah.
and the, I well, let me start at the beginning. I went to see Van Halen. I didn't go to see Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was my first general admission experience.
Yeah.
And I tried, oh, I'm like, oh, there's no seats on the floor. I'm going to try to get as close as I can
Yeah.
to these guys. And I got to about 10 or 12 feet away.
Yeah.
And I instantly regretted it once the lights went down and the band started to play.
Yeah.
I was completely crushed.
Yeah.
I had no control over where I was going. My feet were off the ground
Yeah.
half the time.
Where?
It was scary,
Yeah.
um, but worth it. But I was scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it was a short set. They had no lights. They
Yeah.
had half the PA, 3 amps on the stage, um, but they completely destroyed. They played
Yeah.
most of the album, and they played Bottoms Up, from which would show up on the next album.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. It
Yeah.
was amazing. And then when they were done, I got off the floor,
Yeah.
and there was nobody sitting behind the stage at all back in the day, that nobody
Yeah.
sat back there.
Yeah.
So I went back there and I just regrouped and I watched Sabbath, and
Yeah.
I just didn't get it. And I remember distinctly watching Bill Ward. He dropped a drumstick
Yeah.
and his stick bag was over here, and he didn't want to let this hand go. He's right-handed,
Yeah.
and trying to reach around his stomach to get to the stick bag to get
Right.
another
Yeah.
stick.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, wow, these guys are all done.
Yeah.
They're all done.
All right.
But little did I know it would take another 40 years before they were all done. But
I know. Right.
they definitely were in a place where they needed a major overhaul. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also remember at that show, somebody in the sea of people out there holding a boombox over his head, like a big ass boombox,
Yeah.
holding it up over the crowd like this
Yeah.
during the show. Like,
Huh.
how did he get that in the building?
Yeah. Well, that's weird.
Crazy.
And that was sort of a general consensus about that tour. I feel like that Van Halen was sort of just this new band that was just sort of blowing these old guys off the stage at that point.
I've never seen such a archetypical they blew us off stage.
Yeah,
I've never
yeah,
seen it so drastic as that night. It was
yeah,
like, I don't even know if I would have walked on the stage after that.
yeah.
But
I know. Fast
amazing.
for, fast forward 8 years later, I had a similar thing where I went to see Metallica open for Ozzy. And it was the Master of Puppets tour. And then Ozzy was doing maybe Ultimate Sin or something at that point, but that was when he had the Liberace, he had that hairdo that looked like an 80s like your aunt from like Medford, Mass or
Yeah.
something with a sparkly outfit. But I remember he when he came out, we watched a couple of songs with my brother and his friend, and then we left after a couple of songs. And I was glad I got to see Cliff because I hadn't seen them before that. So
Yeah.
and they were good. 45-minute set or whatever they had, but yes, just seeing Ozzy at that point, I feel like he had so many of those periods in his life where but that was a short one because the first solo thing was what, 80, 81 or something. And then by then I was like, ugh, I didn't really follow his stuff too far after that.
Right
But
around that time too, the solo albums came out from
yeah,
Kiss.
Oh yeah, 78. Yeah.
and I was already pretty much done with them because I thought Double Platinum was a ripoff,
Yeah.
and I didn't like Dynasty.
Yeah.
Uh, well, I think Dynasty came after the solo albums
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
but when the solo albums came out, of course you had to buy all four,
Yeah.
and you couldn't. Maybe you could hear it on the radio, maybe the single every
Yeah.
now and then from each
Right.
record, but
Yeah.
and I do remember hearing Gene's Radioactive
Yeah.
and Ace's New York Groove.
Yeah.
Um, but I wasn't going to buy all four.
Yeah.
And so I bought Jeans and Aces.
Yeah.
And Aces was top shelf, awesome album.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
he didn't have if the name Kiss wasn't on that album or his name or his face wasn't on it, it's still a
Yeah.
great record,
Yeah.
awesome
Yeah.
album.
Yeah.
And Jeans was the letdown. Jeans was like big on showbiz and the
Yeah.
songs weren't great.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had like 100 people guest
Right.
on the album, but
Yeah.
it just
Yeah. It
didn't
was
really.
that was like an overblown, bloated affair
Yeah,
of a
yeah.
record. And I don't
Disappointment. Again, it was the last nail in the coffin for my Kiss
yeah.
fatigue, for
Yeah.
sure. And then later on, I think it was it 78 or 79 that Dynasty came out. I was like,
79, I think was that
yeah,
was the
I
number.
didn't even bother with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But you mentioned If You Want Blood, if by AC/DC.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember buying that another first day purchase, and I had to. I don't know why, because I used to take the bus to that mall, but I had to ride my bike this time
Yeah.
to the mall,
Hmm.
and I bought the record, and I had to right after school. I had to ride my bike back to my house with that record in one of those flimsy
Yeah.
plastic bags, and
Yeah.
it was pouring rain out,
Oh yeah.
and it was like a nightmare trying to navigate my bike through the rain back home
Yeah.
from the mall with this bag and this record that I couldn't let anything happen to this record. I had
Yeah.
to go
Yeah.
home
Yeah.
and listen to it.
Right.
I remember that, and
Yeah.
that's a great record.
Yeah.
That's one of the few shows from the '70s of all these live albums we're talking about that has no overdubs.
That's what I was just
No,
going to ask you. Like, so let's look at some of these live records. So is that true? Probably because I was thinking like, listening to some of these, especially like that Sammy Hagar one. I don't think I'd ever heard. I made a playlist with all these records the other day and put that one on there.
it's good.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's good, but it definitely does.
It has to digress a minute.
Yeah,
It has two Montrose songs on
yeah,
it,
yeah.
and
I've
half
heard
of
this
his
one.
band was in
Montrose. Yeah,
Montrose. So
yeah,
those two tunes are awesome, and
yeah,
it's as
yeah,
close as you'll ever get to hearing Montrose
yeah,
live. That lineup of live,
yeah,
it's worth it for those two songs.
yeah,
But go
yeah.
ahead.
And that's probably something you can find cheap if you're someone that wants to buy the a Sammy Hagar live record at this point. I imagine it's easy to find. But Scorpions, Tokyo Tapes, that one's got a lot of overdubs, I imagine.
I'm pretty sure that does.
Yeah,
I didn't buy that in '78. It took me
yeah,
a couple more
yeah,
years to find them. But I
yeah.
think the worst offender on the list from '78, and I hate to say it,
Hmm.
but it's been widely acknowledged by everybody involved with the record and even some of the band members is Live and Dangerous.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some of those songs are sound checks
yeah.
with audience, and the audience they used was the same audience from David Bowie's stage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's pretty much standard practice to take the live recordings and go back and fix them up
yeah,
to
yeah,
and make
definitely.
them
Yeah,
commercially viable.
yeah,
And so it as a kid it would have bummed me out, but I'm glad I didn't know. I'm glad
yeah,
I just as a record, as an experience,
yeah,
it's awesome. It's a
yeah,
great record,
yeah,
but it's kind of a pastiche of a bunch of different
yeah,
things. Like the truth is out now about Kiss Alive,
yeah, yeah,
but who cares? It's still
yeah,
fun to listen to.
yeah, yeah. Or Unleashed in the East,
Right.
is another famous one. Um,
Even Budokan, the drums and the bass, they had to re-record all the bass on Budokan because it just didn't happen at the
yeah,
show.
yeah,
So
hmm,
whatever.
yeah. And so some of these, do you remember getting these live records in at the time that they came out, like a Nugent one? I imagine you did you buy that one? That one
Oh
came.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
There's very little in 78
yeah.
that I didn't know was coming
Right.
because of my connections at the record store. They
Yeah.
would tell me
Yeah.
next month on February whatever, Nugent's live album.
Yeah.
So I'd be there
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah.
I remember walking down the hall in the mallway in the mall hallway,
Yeah.
and they had Van Halen 2 in every possible display
Yeah.
they could have it in the store. That like Warner Brothers bought the store for the day and just put Van Halen
Right.
2 everywhere.
Yeah.
And I took the bus there after school and bought it. First
Yeah.
day, boom. I was crazy. I was a maniac.
How about
I had to have it. I had to hear it.
yeah, yeah. How about Blue Oyster Cult? Were you a fan of them in 1978?
I was not.
Yeah.
That's a band. That's a band that you kind of have to work at getting into.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I found,
Yeah.
but
No, same here.
once you get them,
Yeah.
they're absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it took me a long time, like Sabbath. It took me a while to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
what they were doing and to
Yeah.
really kind of understand it.
Yeah.
But they're one of my favorite bands now. But that
Yeah.
record just went
Yeah. Yeah.
over my head.
Yeah. Out of their three live records, I feel like people think that's their least favorite. The three, the I know there's been subsequent ones, but
Yeah, yeah.
On your feet or on your knees, and then extraterrestrial live. But Some Enchanted Evenings was the first one I heard, um, and that was the one I sort of liked. And then same thing when I finally kind of got them. I had a boss that was really into them, and he got me into those early records, and then that first live record. And then when I heard that live version of Seven Screaming Dizzbusters. Um, I was like, wow, this is and just astronomy and
Mhm.
yeah, it's a great live record. And that third one that one's pretty good. I don't know that they needed to cover Roadhouse Blues.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, that's what bugged me about the first one and the second one too. There's
Yeah.
more than one cover on it.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
have such a great catalog. It's
Yeah.
just a waste.
Yeah, yeah.
That's Some Enchanted Evening has been re-released as a 2 CD
Yeah.
set with the rest of the set list on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a lot of these albums that we're talking about, the live albums of 78,
Yeah.
were single albums.
Yeah.
But now, that they're still milking that cow, so
Yeah.
they're re-releasing everything in the
Yeah.
vault.
Yeah. I don't know why there's
So
been
it's
any
good.
there's never been any Van Halen live stuff from that era. I wonder. That's
I have a
maybe.
theory.
Yeah.
So I saw Van Halen on every tour from the first album up through 1984.
Yeah.
And one of the major annoyances as the years went by with Van Halen is Dave
Yeah.
didn't really consider singing the songs
Yeah.
as a priority.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, he would skip lines, skip words,
Yeah.
just shriek. Um, so I really think that if they did a live album, they would have really had to work on that and
Yeah.
get him reined in,
Yeah.
maybe in the studio, and
Yeah.
just get him focused and disciplined and sing the friggin' songs.
Yeah.
Um, he would stop a song halfway through. He'd just walk up to the guys and say, "Stop, stop, stop, stop," and then he would rap for a little bit,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then they'd pick it up again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Uh, I just That's my theory. I think that
Makes sense. Yeah.
they probably rolled tape a lot, but
Yeah.
came out
Yeah.
with was it usable in the end because
Yeah.
Dave was just all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's sort of just what was happening with them later too, just not wanting to deal with him. He's so fucking just yeah, over the
That
top and
that live album that they did put out, the Tokyo Dome
yeah.
concert with is with him, and
Yeah.
he's pretty reined in.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's pretty much on it.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing them back in the day and just being like, sing the songs.
Right.
Sing.
Yeah. How about the Aerosmith live bootleg? That was a good record, I thought. It was kind of all over the place. Because that was recorded at different
Yeah, every song is
uh,
from a different
yeah.
year, a different venue,
Yeah, yeah.
different tour, but it kind of works as like
Yeah.
a big pastiche of their
Yeah.
history,
Yeah.
especially that Boston Paul's Mall stuff.
Yeah, the early yeah, yeah.
Uh, it's a great overview of them.
Yeah.
There, it's a far cry from the studio records, I think, but
Yeah.
I used to hear from all my friends that they were terrible
Yeah.
live because they were all on drugs.
Right, or they were drunk or yeah.
And I saw them on that tour
Yeah.
in Providence,
Hmm.
and they were great.
Yeah. Yeah.
They played really well.
Hmm.
Everything sounded awesome. Tyler was on it. Everything was great.
Yeah.
Better than the album, better than the bootleg album
Yeah. Hmm.
overall.
Yeah.
So I was happy about that. But I like that album. That's a good
Yeah.
album.
Yeah, it's a good live record, I thought. Um, and they didn't put anything out studio. That Draw the Line was
The year before.
the year before, yeah, and
Yeah.
then what the next one would have been Night in the Ruts? Was it that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that was
79.
yeah, yeah.
79.
Um, so how about stuff that wasn't sort of in like the rock, like stuff like Blondie or stuff like was any of that stuff on your radar? The Cars,
Not
being like a
not
local.
when I listened to BCN,
Yeah,
I developed an appreciation for a lot of the
yeah,
punk that they played
yeah,
and a lot of the new wave that they played,
yeah,
but I never bought it. I wasn't a
yeah,
consumer of it.
yeah,
I was a rock kid for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Jay Giles band.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I was a big fan of them. And they put out Sanctuary in '78, which I think I like that record. But yeah, they were like if you were listening to local radio, Jay Giles band were sort of all over that, in Boston.
Everything they did before they got 80s was awesome.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Um, and then so sort of as you got into heavier stuff later in the years after this, there's all this great stuff to then go back and discover, like Judas Priest, Stained Class. It comes out in '78, which is, that's I feel like that's like sort of the fans album. Like that's like the one a lot of people consider their best record. And it's usually the hardcore fans. Stained Class seems to be the one people pick. I love it, but I don't know if that's my favorite. You're a fan of that record?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's like Sad Wings and Sin After Sin and Stained Class are authentic Priest.
yeah, yeah,
And after that, you can kind of feel them going to be a little bit more commercial
yeah,
with Hellbent for Leather and especially British Steel, which
yeah, yeah,
British Steel is one of my favorite albums of all time,
yeah,
no question.
yeah,
But it's kind of mainstreamed
yeah, yeah,
compared to the stuff that came
yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah,
It's
for
a big
sure.
move towards mainstream,
Yeah,
but I love it. I
yeah.
absolutely love it. But thank God that Unleashed in the East is right between
I know, right?
that period and the
Yeah,
commercial period because that album is amazing.
yeah, yeah. I know it's almost like a little bookmark in between those two. UFO Obsession comes out in 1978.
Yep.
When
I
did you when did you become a fan of them?
Well, I had heard Only You Can Rock Me on WBCN,
Yeah,
and the guitar player was great.
yeah,
It's a great song.
yeah,
But what really jumped out at me was the guitar player.
yeah,
And coincidentally, later that year, I saw Cheap Trick at the Orpheum in December,
yeah.
and UFO was the opening band.
Oh, okay.
And they were finishing up the. So Paul Chapman was in the band twice.
Yeah,
Once Schenker went missing during the Obsession tour, but he came back.
yeah,
And then he quit after the live album was recorded at the end of the Obsession tour.
yeah,
So this was the Obsession tour after they had recorded the live album,
yeah,
but they were still touring on the Obsession album,
yeah.
and they had Paul Chapman in the band.
Right.
So, but I didn't know that any of that at this time. I just saw,
Yeah,
oh, this is the band that has that song on
yeah, yeah,
BCN, and they were great. I no expectations going in at
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
and they were awesome.
Yeah.
I left the Orpheum that day determined I got to go get
Yeah.
one of their records,
Yeah.
and I got Obsession,
Hmm.
and I love it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Did that happen with you much with like unknown opener bands, seeing them and being like, wow, this is great.
No, not
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. I know. I
UFO was the one time that the opener was like really
yeah. Yeah.
blew me away, and I was an instant fan.
Yeah.
When I saw Aerosmith, they Golden Earring opened up
Hmm.
for Aerosmith,
Yeah.
and I've much later in life come to appreciate that band very much. I think they're
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Their back catalog is
Huge.
incredible.
Yeah.
Most people they just know them from Radar Love,
Twilight
and
Zone.
later on it would be Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
But in between those records, there's a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
But I thought they were cool at when I saw them, and they were touring their album called "Grab It for a Second," and I bought
Yeah.
that album, "Grab It for a Second."
Yeah.
I didn't hang on to it for too long because I didn't really grab me.
Yeah.
But like I said, later in life, I went back to it, and it's a great record.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of their hard rock, their American hard rock move.
Right. Yeah.
So it makes sense that they got the Aerosmith tour, but
Yeah.
it's not really representative of what they're all about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But most, like I said it earlier tonight, the most of the opening bands that I saw at all these shows were just kind of that generic
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
rock band.
Yeah. I know. I wish I paid attention at the time, but when I saw Rush for the first time in '82, they had Rory Gallagher open, and
I was there.
yeah, yeah, I was 12. I didn't really know who Rory got, so I probably, who knows, not paying attention, but that would have been something I would have liked to have seen, at this point. But yeah,
Yeah,
there was a lot of that, like Cheap Chick Dream Police tour. Rick Derringer was the opener, but I liked him. I think we had that record, not the early one, the Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo one, but there was like a one at that time. And there was guitar and pen or something like that. I don't remember the name of it, but
Guitars and Women.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was pretty good. Um, how about the man UK? Did you ever get into them?
I heard them a lot
Yeah,
when I worked at Good Vibrations. I heard them
yeah,
after the fact a lot
yeah,
because after long story, but after I left the record store part of that company, I worked at corporate for a while,
yeah,
and they used to play records at the HQ,
yeah,
and we used to all take turns.
right.
So, and anybody could play whatever they wanted to, and
Yeah,
we had a prog fan there that played Yes and King Crimson and
yeah,
all that stuff, and he loved UK.
yeah,
I mean, I'm a huge John Wetton fan, but
yeah, yeah,
I don't know. No
yeah,
guitars.
yeah,
It's hard.
yeah,
No, with no
yeah,
guitar.
yeah. Yeah, I tried them. I thought they were okay, but nothing that knocked me out. And then I think some of the prog stuff that bands were doing by this point was like past me. Like yes, it does Tormato in 1978, which not their best work. And then what's the other one? Well, Rush puts out
Hemisphere.
Hemispheres, which is
Yeah,
an amazing record.
I wasn't
Um,
into them either.
yeah,
I hadn't done the dive into them yet.
yeah, yeah,
When I did, it was
yeah,
huge, but
yeah,
I
yeah,
hadn't done it yet.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I had a friend who the year before
Hmm.
loved this album,
Oh
and
yeah,
I heard this Queen album probably 100 times that summer.
yeah,
So and I bought it and I
yeah,
liked it. So in '78 when Jazz came out,
yeah,
I ran right down and I bought it, and
yeah,
I didn't like it. I was let
yeah,
down. I
yeah,
thought it was kind of weak.
yeah. What's on that one? Like Bicycle Race and Don't Stop Me Now and
Yep.
yeah,
All that
all that.
jazz,
Yeah, yeah,
uh, in only 7 days. There's
yeah.
just a lot of Mustafa.
Oh yeah, most of the,
That
yeah,
was, that,
yeah,
that was pretty cool.
yeah.
But
I like
I mean,
and they put out that live Killers that was like probably a year later, like 79 or 80 maybe.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a pretty good representation of their stuff. I don't know the story behind that record or
I liked it. I liked it too, but it was a letdown when they did Bohemian Rhapsody that when the operatic part comes in,
yeah,
they
it's a
just played their tape.
yeah,
They
I
played
know.
the record, and it was
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I get it. I get
Yeah,
it. It's impossible to do, but it's
yeah.
just kind of,
Um, yeah, oh, so Cheap Trick puts out Heaven Tonight. So you're a fan of Cheap Trick in 1978.
yes.
Um, what did you think of this record when this one comes
I
out?
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
The first one is genius,
yeah,
untouchable.
yeah,
The second one, the production is a little bit weak on it, but the
yeah,
songs are great.
yeah,
Great songs, but it's kind of weak
yeah,
production wise. And
yeah,
Heaven Tonight's kind of a combination of the two. The
yeah,
songs are really cool,
yeah,
and the production's much better,
yeah,
much stronger. I think it's a great album.
yeah,
Auf Wiedersehen is the
yeah,
funny thing about them is Rick Nielsen wrote like 99% of all their stuff.
yeah.
And if you go back and listen to like archival recordings that have been released
Hmm.
years after, or
Yeah,
bootleg tapes, which Bunny Carlos puts out bootlegs of them on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel,
yeah.
and he puts out rehearsal tapes,
Oh
and
wow.
it just look at his channel. It's amazing
Yeah,
stuff.
I will.
But all the songs on their first four albums, all the way through Dream Police,
Yeah,
were already written before they were even signed,
yeah, yeah,
and they just they had no issues recording four albums in a row
yeah.
because they had
All
50
that
killer
stuff.
songs to go from.
Yeah, yeah,
So they were it's super consistent, and
yeah,
it's just funny that
yeah,
all that stuff was written in 75 and 76.
yeah. I know. I remember that was might have been one of the first bands I remember hearing where the live record had a song that wasn't on a record yet with "I Need Your Love," which ended up on Dream Police.
And Look Out too.
Yeah, 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 yep.
They
And I
were
just
on you ever watch the Midnight Special back then?
yeah, yeah. I
They were
bought
on
the
an
DVD set of that like
Oh
years ago.
really?
Yeah, it's like a tw that's an amazing viewer if you're not familiar with the Midnight Special, just go seek it out. It was actual live performances. But anyway, go ahead, Bob.
Well, on the Midnight Special one week, Ted Nugent was the guest host,
Yeah.
and he picked the bands,
Okay.
and it was AC/DC
Hmm.
and Cheap Trick,
Yeah.
and there was another episode that had Cheap Trick and the Ramones on it,
Oh wow.
and they were really playing live. It wasn't
Yeah. Yeah.
wasn't just the promo video thing, lip
Yeah.
syncing. It was really them live,
Yeah.
and all three of those bands, like it was gold because, like I said before, you only had the records and maybe a magazine article
Yeah.
to see like what this band was like or what they even looked like,
Yeah.
and to catch them playing a set on TV was
Yeah.
incredible. It
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah.
I think didn't California Jam 2 happen that year too in 78?
I think so. Yeah. 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 I have that record here somewhere. Um, yeah, I think so.
That was televised. It wasn't live, but I
Yeah.
remember seeing that on TV.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Don Kirshner's rock concert
Right.
that
Tapped
played
into it
it.
or something. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was the Nugent set, and some of the Aerosmith set was on the broadcast.
Yeah.
But this stuff was, I mean, these were the days
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Those festivals.
everything now is so easy to access.
Yeah.
Back then, it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
And when it happened, it was so appreciated and
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
was so rare that when you finally saw a band play live,
Yeah.
or found a magazine where there was an article about them, or
Yeah.
it was just it's so different today.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sound like a 61-year-old man, but I'm a 61-year-old
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I mean, it is nice sometimes to go to a show and then come home and you can see 47 different angles of the show. But also it's kind of cool to just be able to just talk about these concerts that we saw where there's no photos of or video of, or we just have these, fading, at this point, fading
Well,
memories of this stuff. And,
not it's convenience. Convenience has won.
yeah, yeah,
Everything is convenient, and back then it wasn't a matter of convenience. It was an experience.
yeah, yeah,
Everything was an experience, and
yeah,
you take away the memories of it.
yeah,
Um, and I think I appreciate it more because it wasn't so easy.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, who's going to talk about a video they saw on YouTube in 40 years later?
Right. Yeah,
Or what,
exactly. Yeah,
you know, it doesn't mean the same thing. It doesn't have the same weight.
yeah, yeah. And I think that is one of my favorite things of it, just about that, the idea of this that we're talking about is when I was involved in like the punk and hardcore scene and even like Wargasm, there's not much footage of, stuff that you can find out there. It was one of those, and it is, you sound like these old guys, but yeah, you had to be there. There's not much footage of all those shows at the Rat that we saw, or this kind of, I don't think there's any video footage of Metallica when they played the Channel, stuff like that. I mean, maybe there is, but you would have had to have, uh, you know, walking in there with a video camera, you didn't
Right.
have a little phone. So it was, you know, harder to see that stuff. So, yeah. Um, and then you're a Deep Purple fan back then because you were talking about Richie Blackmore. Um, and then obviously Rainbow happens. Did you go along with that band? Were you into them?
I got into them the year later
Yeah, okay.
with the Down to Earth album,
Oh, all right, yeah. And
when
that's with
Graham Bonnet was in the band.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that album. It's not very rainbowy.
Yeah, yeah. I like that
It's
record.
it's it's very straightforward rock.
Yeah,
It's not Dungeons and Castles and
yeah,
Dragons and stuff because Dio's gone.
yeah,
But it's a really cool record.
yeah,
Cozy Powell's on it. He's awesome. Don Airey's on it.
yeah,
Roger Glover and Blackmore, obviously. And Graham
yeah,
Bonnet he
yeah,
sings his ass off. He's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
But my friends and their older brothers
Hmm.
were into Rainbow, and they knew about Dio long before I did.
Yeah,
And then actually, I have a couple of friends who went to saw Rainbow at the Orpheum with Dio, and they had
yeah,
the big rainbow behind them.
yeah, yeah,
And I didn't care when I heard the story, and I didn't care. But now
yeah.
I'm like, damn, I wish I was there.
I know, yeah. I
And I
know.
know some people who saw same people who saw Ozzy on his first tour at the
Yeah.
Orpheum with
Uh-huh.
Motorhead.
Yeah,
Motorhead opened up for him.
yeah,
And I was at that point, I was way into Motorhead, and
yeah,
I, I really wish I could go back in time and see that show.
yeah, yeah. I know,
Their
right?
very first time in America was on that tour.
Yeah.
I would have
Oh,
loved to have seen that.
I know, right? Um, That more mainstream stuff like the Stones, Some Girls comes out in 1978. Um, Boston, Don't Look Back. That's their second record. The Who Are You? We went to those bands at all.
You know, my thought back then was, I don't need to buy it. It's
Yeah,
on the
it's
radio
on the radio.
all the
Yeah,
time.
especially
Just turn the
Boston.
radio on and
Yeah,
you're hearing
yeah,
Shattered
yeah,
or Miss You or Who Are You.
yeah,
Um, so I wasn't compelled to like become a fan of
yeah,
that
yeah,
and follow it and consume it and
yeah,
buy it
yeah,
because it was everywhere all the
yeah,
time. So
yeah,
and I liked it,
yeah, yeah,
but it didn't it didn't really speak to me the way the hard rock metal stuff did for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
And as an older person,
Yeah,
I went back and I have it all now,
yeah,
and I appreciate it all now, and I understand why it's the greatest music of all time.
yeah,
All those bands, the Who and the
yeah,
Stones and the
yeah,
Beatles and all that, I totally get it.
yeah,
But at the time, I didn't.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been buying the I bought all those Sabbath box sets, and that was the one that got me into technical ecstasy because that was when I just never. I'm still, it's not. It's again, it's not in the same world as those first four or six or however, whatever. Some people go with just the first four, but I think up to Sabotage, it's sort of their
Yeah,
uh,
it amazes
wheelhouse.
it amazes me when people say the first five Sabbath albums
Yeah, I
because
know.
they're
Yeah,
leaving out Sabotage, and leaving out Sabotage
yeah,
is
yeah,
absurd.
yeah. Um, but
Why? Why do you like
yeah,
first five and not that one?
yeah, yeah. But those are good. There's some good rehearsal stuff on, or like different versions and that kind of thing. But technical ecstasy, there's a different mix of the record on there that
Yeah, I love it.
yeah, I think it's really good. Just I was like, oh, this is okay. I kind of get this record now. I don't, it's not a favorite, but I definitely appreciate it a lot more. And yeah, it's Tony Iommi. So, um, but I still didn't. I got the box set of the later post Gillan and Dio stuff, and it still hasn't 100% clicked with me at all. Like the Tony Martin and all that stuff. And again, I'm it's like, people will make fun of me because I'm buying music that I'm not a fan of, but I've been wanting, people whose music taste I respect and love are like, no, man, those Eternal Idol and Tear, those are I'd even say they're almost as good as some of the Dio, and I'm like, just dial it back a little there, buddy.
Yeah,
But
but you
there's
got to
some,
find out for yourself.
yeah, yeah. So there's some good stuff, but I'm still not 100% sold on that stuff. But yeah. So yeah. Anything else on 1978, Bob?
Oh, I do have a couple more notes here,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I might as well get them out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you
Um,
got?
this was the time, maybe in your generation too,
Yeah,
Chris, when you could tell who went to the concert the night before
yeah,
based on they were wearing the concert shirt at school the next day.
yeah.
That was like a law
Oh yeah, yeah,
that you bought the parking lot T-shirt,
yeah,
which always looked like shit, was overpriced,
yeah,
and you wore it to school the next day so you could say, I went to the
yeah,
show
yeah,
always.
yeah.
And the other thing I have written down here is Obi's tickets.
Mm-hmm.
When this is the guy we used to get our tickets from. He was a
Yeah,
ticket broker.
yeah,
He would literally at the Westgate Mall in Brockton.
yeah,
Oh, when some people are going to watch this and laugh
yeah,
because they know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
He would have a brick of tickets in his breast pocket, and he'd
yeah,
walk up and down the hall
yeah,
of the mall.
yeah.
He'd go, Blue Oyster Cult tickets. You want tickets? You got tickets. And he would say the date. He was like a walking billboard. He would just
Yeah.
walk in the mall, and kids would buy tickets from him. And he
Yeah.
had he had a little office there in the mall. It was like a broom closet. It was like a door, a
Yeah.
metal door, and it said Obies on it with a piece of duct tape. Obies.
Yeah.
And you'd go up and you'd bang on the door
Yeah.
and you tell him what you want. And apparently, he would be at the box office for every major rock show,
Yeah.
buy like bricks of
Yeah.
tickets,
Yeah.
and then he would sell them. And that's where almost every show that I've mentioned today, I've got the tickets
Got
from.
tickets from, yeah. Do you have any of those stubs still?
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh shit. Oh wow. Ticketron, look at that. And they probably all
Oh,
say like $6, $8, 5.50.
750.
Yeah.
850 for Ted Nugent, 750 for Black Sabbath and Van Halen.
Yeah.
Come on.
I know, it's amazing. I saw recently Bruce Dickinson talking about how they were trying to keep their ticket prices low.
And they're failing miserably.
I'm like, do you know what the word low means? I've somehow the last two times I saw Maiden. I was able to get on the list, or just not on the list, but someone had free tickets, and because it was again it was like $180, and I think it's far beyond that at this point on this upcoming tour. So I'm not going to. And they've been doing these cheap ticket things now, and as you know, I live like right near Great Woods or whatever it is now. And this summer, Deep Purple is playing over there, and they have $30 tickets for that. And I've seen them the last few times they've come around, and I think they still Gillen. I think is still sounds great at least when I saw him. I guess it was maybe 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. They played over there with Alice Cooper.
Yeah, I was
But
there.
yeah, but it's like Deep Purple, Kansas, and Starship or something. So I'm like, but for the show 10 minutes from, and then Sammy Hagar is playing over there too as well. I don't know about him, but he's got Michael Anthony in his
Yeah.
band.
I
But
mean, sometimes it's worth $30 for me
yeah, yeah,
to go see. I mean, some of those guys are absolute legends,
yeah, yeah, exactly. You don't know when they're gonna come through again.
right?
I went to see BOC. I had never seen BOC. And I went to see them at what used to be called Harbor Lights, the outdoor venue with Deep Purple. It was like the early 2000s. And Deep Purple, of course, obviously had Steve Morse on guitar. And I was like, well, it's a bonus, Deep Purple's headlining, but we just wanted to see BOC. And BOC just, it was like a 45-minute set. Rudy Sarzo was in the band at the time. He did a bass solo. In the middle of the bass solo, he did, like a medley of, like Metal Health and Ozzy song. He did like a bunch of his.
Yeah,
And then they did, when they closed with Don't Fear the Reaper, and if they were like really playing up that whole cowbell thing, and I was just like, this is just not what I wanted to see in a BOC show. But they had like a guitar, they just wasted it was like almost 15 minutes of solos in a 45-minute set.
yeah.
And
They
Deep Purple
played.
came out and fucking destroyed. Like I was like, wow, Ian Gillan like sounded amazing, and I was like, so I've made it a point so to see them as long as they are still coming around. I think I'll go see them.
Well, they just released their single from their
Oh
next album,
yeah, yeah,
and it's great.
yeah, yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Gillen sounds great.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I think people should check out some of their newer. The last few, there's been a few good records that they've put out in this later era. So
yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. But yeah, 1978, great year for music. And after this rock sort of endured, and then metal sort of became a bigger thing for a lot of us. And maybe we'll if you want to do one of these 80s ones, we can talk about that and get you on again. We'll do one of those, and
Yeah, right around the corner from this was the new wave of British heavy metal
yeah, yeah,
when it finally hit America.
yeah, yeah.
And then right after that, it's pretty much thrash time.
Thrash and yeah, punk and thrash and stuff, and yeah, yeah. What would be like a good year for the new wave of British
80,
heavy? 80.
1980.
Okay, I guess that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you research that one and you see the records that came out that year, you'll be blown away.
Yeah, no, I know. That one I've been looking at that one. My friend Dominic is going to come on and do that one with me.
Awesome.
And yeah, he's a good friend, and he's a big fan of that era of music, and so that's going to be fun to do that one. But yeah, thanks for coming on again, Bob. It's always
Oh,
great to have you on here and talk music, and yeah, it was good to see you live last summer too, to do some Motorhead songs for our
oh,
fallen
get
friend
ready. Get,
Mario.
get ready for another one.
Yeah, they're gonna do another one this summer.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. But thank
yeah,
you for having me on for this one because
yeah,
this really brought me back
yeah,
and it was great. It was fun to go back and look all this stuff up and
yeah,
relive it in my head. It was awesome. Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh, good, good. I'm glad. Awesome. Cool, man. Well, I will talk to you soon, and you enjoy your night.
Take care of
All right.
yourself.
Thanks, Bob. Can you name every member of Kiss?
Simmons?
Yeah.
Ace Frehley?
Yeah.
Huh?
Keep going. The guy with the star in his eye.
He was handsome. No, I can't remember.
Paul.
Paul Stanley?
Yeah. And then the drummer. Pete.
Pete?
Pete. Peter Chris.
Peter Chris. Is this Chris?
No, this is Wargasm.
Orgasm?
Wargasm.